Discussing a potential break almost 30 years after the perplexing homicide of rapper Tupac Shakur. It's been a significant delay for every one of the people who needed to see a fair consequence given in the Tupac murder case anyway. It seems like the new subtleties that we got our hands on at long last uncover who truly killed Tupac following 27 years back on September 7, 1996. Tupac was only 25 years of age and cruising in a dark BMW with Suge Knight, a hotshot from Death Row Records. They're essential for an escort of around 10 vehicles. Making a beeline for a club in the wake of watching Mike Tyson's legendary knockout against Bruce Seldon at the Minging Excellent, yet things took a dim turn when a white Cadillac moved up close to their BMW at a red light close to the Las Vegas Strip. Inside that caddy were four fellows, and one of them began shooting like insane rearward in the traveler side of Knight's vehicle with projectiles. Tupac was sitting in the front seat and got hit multiple times with no less than two slugs finding their direction into his chest. Knight lucked out with only an effortlessness from some shot sections. Unfortunately, 6 days after the fact on September 13, 1996, Tupac was articulated dead at around 4:03 p.m. neighborhood time at the College Clinical Center in La. The clinic expressed he died because of respiratory disappointment and cardiopulmonary capture. Man, is still difficult to accept how everything went down. The world lost a genuine ability that day, and we're left with the secret of what truly happened. Find happiness in the hereafter. Tupac, your inheritance lives on. Tupac had this insane inclination that he ain't going to live lengthy. Like, he continued to discuss it in the entirety of his tunes, like in that 1995 exercise center, on the off chance that I kick the bucket this evening from me against the world. He assaulted about trusting they cover him. Calmly, yet the titles, saying that he got killed to death. My final gasp, investigate. Pick your hoodlum on his point of no return. __. Don't have the foggiest idea on the off chance that I passed on, or not, and afterward, on no one but God can pass judgment on me. He took it to an entire nother level. He spit bars about hearing the specialist yelling, attempting to save him, while he's lying there with shot openings, feeling like a few wrongs crawling through his veins. Yet it gets considerably creepier in the video, I Ain't Frantic at You, which came out only a month prior to he passed. Tupac has chants on various occasions. After an occasion, very much like what went down on September 7, 1996. When he left that inn in Vegas in the music video, he even kicks the bucket in the rescue vehicle. And afterward it changes to him showing up in paradise, dressed all sharp in a white suit. And you will have a hard time believing this, yet Smooth D from Quite Smooth, a hip bounce craftsman, let the cat out of the bag in a meeting he was attached with Tupac. And he said Park was completely mindful that his days were numbered. He anticipated his own passing in this own curved manner. Last time we were together, you realize I was in LA briefly. So I had pictures of I attempted to set the lodging up like my bunk. So I had photos of my children and all that goodness, man. And we was messing with. And he saw an image around then. It was my most seasoned little girl, my child. He said, you an extraordinary dad, man. These children is fortunate, man. You understand what I resembled, no doubt. I said, __. You make an incredible dad, he said. __. I'm letting you know I ain't going to live beyond 25. Tupac was a legend, no question, except for these feelings. Simply make everything more stunning and creepy. Now the secret is at last getting settled in light of the fact that we have some new fascinating data. Not too far off, back in 1996, the Las Vegas police attempted to break the case. Yet the examination hit a huge roadblock, since witnesses were not able to approach and spill these, even with the wrongdoing occurring openly. And the casualties' popularity, nobody has at any point been captured for Tupac Shakur's killing his family devotees. And a few dark performers contend that the equity framework shows a twofold norm in cases like this. They accept that they were white superstar. The police would have quickly found the guilty parties. Cops are saying they couldn't break it in light of the fact that the people around Tupac wouldn't talk at all. Expect up there's something else. To remember the police screwed up. Big time. They dismissed some occurrence before the shooting where Tupac got into a piece, put the posse man at an inn. Then they saw no point in circling back to an observer who could have ID'd the assailants, yet darn that witness had chance later on a few different pieces. In addition to they missed a lead about a white Cadillac similar kind the shooters utilized, yet saw no point in pursuing him at all. Tackling Pac-related killings isn't simple. No proof. The observer talking. It's a genuine wreck. Tupac's group definitely disliked the police. And the police didn't have the foggiest idea how to deal with Pacs. Like Compton, see these posse fellows are about regard, so assuming the analyst showed them some sort of politeness, they could get an inside data to address the wrongdoing, yet that didn't occur for this situation. When the police showed up at the scene, they dealt with Tupac's team, like suspects pulling firearms on them, whatnot, and left observers ticked off. And they would have rather not helped out them. Las Vegas police didn't actually apologize for their forceful methodology later on. When they had a go at taking proclamations from the group, they were all similar to "Nah, we ain't talking Suge Knight." Directly up let him know that it ain't his responsibility to tackle crimes or squeal on individuals. The investigators got baffled, calling it the commonplace group mindset. They accept that individuals would rather not talk then. At that point, it's useless to push them again and again. After all, residents have their privileges, yet there was one observer, Yippee Gaddafi Fula, who was able to help. He was near Tupac, and he said he could know who the aggressors were. Issue was the police didn't circle back to him appropriately. They didn't attempt to get in touch with him again. Things got much more chaotic a couple of days. After the fact, Fuller got into a fight with the police, cuffed and looked, yet no charges were discharged. Then after Tupac died, Pula left Las Vegas and returned to New Jersey to be with his family. In the meantime, specialists from Compton had accumulated mugshots from a few gangsters and gave them over to Las Vegas police. They needed to show these pics to Fula, yet they couldn't contact him. And they at last attempted to set up a gathering through his legal advisor. It was past the point of no return. Fula had chance dead in the lodging project in New Jersey. After Tupac had chance, the police were all over Compton, attempting to crush the posse war that admitted they gathered up almost 24 gangsters and held on to weapons and munitions, expecting to get some data about the shooting. Orlando Anderson, part of the gang they snatched, had a few associations with the posse underground Las Vegas. His investigator appeared and had a speedy visit with him. Yet that was all there was to it. They didn't try conversing with the other gangsters, which completely shocked the neighborhood cops. They resembled "Fella, we got these folks in guardianship," and they could realize something about Tupac's killing. Yet the Vegas investigators were simply not intrigued, like at all. They scarcely did anything with Orlando, and at no point ever addressed him. In the future 2 days after the fact, he was delivered with practically no charges for the past group killing. And think about what he wound up dead later on, in a medication-related shootout in a vehicle wash. Some New York group examiners said the Vegas analyst blew a once-in-a-lifetime chance. See, while you're managing Pacs, must be determined, man. Continue onward, back rest on them, until they let the cat out of the bag. Yet it seems like Vegas team didn't get that reminder. Currently, there's this white inventory that appeared in Compton only 2 days after Tupac had chance. It had a rental sticker, and a few people said that the Crips carried it to a vehicle sound system search. For Fix's word was that one of Tupac's protectors even went after that vehicle in Las Vegas. Steady police gave this data to the Las Vegas specialists, yet they guarantee they never got it. Neighborhood folks went all hard and fast checking rental offices and found a lead on that very vehicle. Yet it seemed like the Vegas criminal investigators just didn't have any desire to circle back to it. The Las Vegas police had some serious trust issues with the Compton team. Compton had a crude past with political defilement, And surprisingly, a few police were reputed to be associated with the Pac's. No big surprise, the Vegas folks were reluctant to work intimately with them. Once upon a time, Compton had its own police force. Yet after a lot of show they chose to get enormous firearms from LA District. The time of Tupac shooting the Compton Pac crew was known to be truly outstanding in Southern California. Yet here's where things got a little fascinating. Las Vegas cops were stressed that Compton city authorities were excessively comfortable with Suge Knight, who grew up there and had attaches with the police force. Suge's security boss was even a previous Compton cop. His dad ran the group unit. There was reports that Suge could have been associated with Tupac's demise, which made the Vegas investigators dubious facilitate their concerns. The substance boss supplanted the senior right with Doe Puncher in the Tupac examination. Yet and still, after all that the Las Vegas specialists stayed away, they have zero faith in anybody and didn't have any desire to listen regardless of whether the folks who knew basically everything there is to know about the South Side Crips. Some previous Compton officials weren't surrendered, however. They actually accept Tupac's homicide might have been settled. And perhaps it actually can be. They think every one of the signs are not too far off. And if by some stroke of good luck there was a superior collaboration, equity would at last be served. Quick forward to 2002, in the LA Times did their own examination pointing a few fingers at a substance posse called the South Side Crips. They probably needed vengeance for Tupac purportedly pounding one of their individuals only a couple of hours before the shooting. Then in October 2018, Suge Knight, the Death Row Records honcho, gets a strong 28-year sentence for running over and killing a music leader named Terry Carter. During this preliminary night, asserts that he was the genuine objective of that drive. By that kill Tupac, he focuses fingers at his ex in the previous Death Row security head, saying they were behind the shoot around a half year after Tupac was unfortunately killed. His rap rival, the famous B.I., likewise met a deadly land on Walk 9, 1997. Individuals generally accepted that Larged shooting was associated with Tupac.